Hi everyone, thanks for joining me today. I have this cute little treat bag holder. I have a class tomorrow and I made a bunch of these. I'm using retired DSP, so the project I'm going to do for you today is going to be using the Rings of Love celebration paper that we can get free right now with Stampin' Up. But any of your designer series paper, any way you want to decorate this is going to work out beautifully. If you're joining me live, I hope that you'll say hello so we can chat while I'm teaching you how to make this treat holder. This treat holder might be out there in some other version. I don't really know. I just I designed this for myself. Did the measurements myself just because I wanted a particular size, and the products that I have used to make this I have put in the description of the video, and then at some point I will have a blog post up available for you to see as well. All right, so I need to fix my lights here so that you can see what I'm doing. I have a piece of 8.5 by 11 inch. Actually, I have two sheets because I need to make two of these. So 8.5 by 11 Poppy Parade, and I need to cut this down to 9 by 7. 9 by 7, and we'll save those pieces for use later. 9 by 7, and then I'm going to get out my scoring tool and do some scoring, and then I'll bring the paper trimmer back in to do some cutting, and then we're going to decorate it. So it's going to be really fun. So this is our score tool. Love this thing. Super helpful for, and actually super helpful for any time you need to do a bunch of scoring. So for this type of project, it works great. And I've lost some of my feet, so this middle foot is kind of annoying me. I won't be able to do it. I'm not going to be able to get that out of there, am I? There, yay, it came. Okay, so I'm going to put that right over here on the other end so I have the 4/4. I know those have fallen off in my room somewhere, so. All right, there we go. So I am going to score along the long side. Let me look at my notes here. I need this to be at 2 and 4 and 6. Yeah, that's right. 2, 4, and 6. Then from this short side, I need 2 and then jump over to 5. So I need 2 inches on both ends. Now this portion here, oh, I did something wrong already. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I did something wrong, but I'm going to fix it right now when I show you this. Okay, so I'm going to do the short side first. I had to teach myself this so many times yesterday. I should have just done the video yesterday. All right, so I did along the short side 2 and 5, and then turning to the long side, I'm going to do 2 and 4, and this time on this one I went 6 all the way across, and I'll still be able to use this. That will not be a problem, and I'll show you how. But I'm not going to go 6 all the way down, just so I don't confuse myself again. I'm going to go 6 until I reach this first line right here. Then I'm going to turn this around, and I'm going to go on the 3. Okay, and then again just hitting that mark right there. So this portion right here is what you saw is this back portion here on the treat holder. Oh, hi, Gina. Multitasking. Yes, good. Watching videos and multitasking is a good thing. I am well, and I hope that you are also. All right, so gonna grab my paper trimmer again, and I need to cut off these two portions right here. I'll put some pencil marks on them. This portion right here and this portion right here are going to be cut out. And this paper trimmer makes this really easy to do. So I'm going to put this on the 2-inch because that is a 2-inch score line. And then I'm going to move this down to the 3-inch mark. So there's a little indent on the score blade handle, and then there's the 3-inch mark on the paper trimmer, and I didn't make it all the way down to the 3. My camera is kind of in the way of my head, so let's see if I can make it all the way down to the 3. There we go. That is better. All right, so then I need to come over here to do this one as well. That would be putting this on the 5-inch mark, because remember this is 7 all the way across. So I've got these 2 inches hanging off over here, and again just pull down until you get this little indent lined up with the 3-inch right there. And then we're going to cut off on these score lines that we made here. So this should be, because this is 9 inches, you should have 6 inches across here and 3 inches hanging off here. And that should line up with the original score line. And then you're pulling this down to the 2-inch mark. And then, I didn't make it quite all the way down. And then on this one, you can come up from the bottom 7 to the 5-inch. Just make sure that you lift that up. You don't pull down and accidentally cut that off. Of course, if you did, it wouldn't be lost. You could just glue it all back together. All right, so before I make my cuts, I'm gonna grab my bone folder and crease all of these. Sides, and then I'm gonna make some snips. Oh, you know what? Before I move on, I do need to cut those other pieces off of this one. So let's just do that, repeat that process again. So at 2, I'm pulling down to the 3, and then I'm moving this over here to 5, and pulling down to the 3, and turning this to be at 6, pulling down to the 2, lifting, moving my blade to the bottom, and pushing up to the 5. So I'm cutting these 2 pieces off right there. So this one I will just be careful not to crease right there. This is going to be get covered up with designer series paper. So let's go ahead and crease all of those. So I'm hoping that if you see this project and you're thinking, oh, that would be great for a baby shower or something that you're going to do, I'd love for you to let me know in the comments that you are planning on using this idea somewhere down the line. Okay, so now for trimming, you don't have to do this part. You do have to cut up these 2 lines, but I like to cut a little bit of the bulk out, and so I do like to take a little bit off this top one. I think I'm going to grab my paper snips. I think it'll be a little easier. And then I'm going to take a little triangle out of that fold line right there, and I want to make sure that I'm cutting off the crease lines. And then this one right here, you don't have to cut very much. But I don't cut here. So I do cut this one slightly, but I don't cut this top one. That will give us the actual perfect box shape. So this is going to go down here along the back, and then it will be the exact angle that you want. That's going to give you the exact top. This piece right here is now slanted. So I hope that made sense. So again, I'm going to cut a little bit off the top one, and then a triangle shape out of each one of these sections. And then do not cut this bottom one, which will actually be the top part of the box. All right, let's get these cut as well. So triangle shape. Triangle shape. Oh, that one got a little wonky, but it won't matter. That will be covered up, and then a little bit off of the top, just to make sure that it all lines up nicely and is easy to decorate. So I am going to get to doing some stamping here and decorating. So if you prefer stamping ideas to construction ideas, don't worry, I will get to it in the end with, of course, some tips on how to make your stamping beautiful. All right, so now at this point, this part right here is going to show, right? And then this part these parts right here in the front will show. So I'm going to show you how I decorate those. Let me grab that piece of Designer Series paper again and my paper trimmer. So let's see. I would like to do that back portion, or the front portion, sorry, in the plaid, because that's where I'm going to put my flower. So I want something not floral for the flower to go on. Does that make sense? Yeah. So now this would be great for like Christmas. So you could also do like poinsettias instead of the art gallery. So I am cutting this piece off at 1 3/4 inches, and I'm going to go ahead and do the scoring. So this needs to be scored at 2, and I'm going to need my tool so I just can stick the skinny in here. I've lost the embossing part of this, and then I come down to 5 1/16, 5 and then the 1 mark over. Because you're putting paper on top of paper, you need a little bit of extra room. If you make that right at 5, it fits tightly and a little oddly. Okay, so I need to trim this off then at a little over, actually I'll just keep it right there at 7, because that won't, if it's not quite long enough in the back, it won't show, it won't matter. So then that's going to go on the front of the box, and I need 2 of those, don't I? Yes, I need 2 of those. So let's cut another 1 3/4 and do those again. But at least this way you won't have to rewind the video to get the dimensions, because I'm saying them twice, right? So I'm doing this at 2, scoring at 2, moving over to 5 1/16, scoring again, and over to 7 and trimming off. Save those other pieces for other projects. Now on the back, I want this floral paper, so I'm going to cut that right at 3. That back portion of the box is 3 inches, and then I need a second one, and it is 5 inches tall, so I'll trim that off at 5. Trim this one off at 5 as well. Save your scraps. I think that's all the trimming I need to do, hopefully. Let me put my scoring tool back. All right, so let's get these glued on and then we'll put the whole thing together and decorate. Yay. Oh, good. Pets are happy then. Yay. Well, we actually don't have any pets here, but I always say that I have to feed my boys, and they just left for golfing for the day, so I don't have to feed them lunch. Alrighty, so just covering that up. It's already looking pretty, isn't it? So see how I said it didn't matter that I made that initial mistake with that score line right here, because I'll be covering it up, and then also because this paper is not scored, it should reinforce that, and I don't think I'll have any problems with that bending on that accidental score line. Oops, don't put the glue away, because we're going to put these on the front. So I put that's like the inside of the box, and then I'm going to fold the bottom up and put these pieces that I made right there. And the nice thing about most of our designer series paper is that it's two-sided, and you have these beautiful coordinating designs, so it makes your design choices on these types of projects really easy. It makes it easy for you because you know already what's gonna look good together, right? So just kind of putting that in position, making sure it's glued so that it'll go like that. All right, let me get the other one done, and then we'll put them together. I know this is not my usual type of video, but I thought this turned out so cute that I would make a video of it. And it is a really nice way to use up some retired paper, which I'm kind of on a quest to do. Okay, so now what I'm going to do now is basically glue the whole thing together kind of all at once, at least one side all at once. So this piece, this back piece, back of the box, is going to glue on top of the middle piece, and then this front piece will glue on top of that, okay, and create the level top of the box. So I need glue in two places. I need glue on the back of the middle, and then on the back of the front. So in those two places, or the inside of the front. Okay, so notice that this one's folded up, this one is stretched out. And so I'm gonna pull this up first, and those are going to go together. But I need the front to kind of like figure out how it fits. Like the front piece is how you pull it together so that you don't have anything sticking out weird, and you get a level box, okay? So let's do that again here. So I need glue on the flap, and then on top of there as well. But I want to fold the back on top and then the front on top. And then I use that front piece to line everything up. So I'm lining it up here, and then that's going to give me the level box top. Yay! All right, let's try that again. So here, here, oops, that was wrong, wasn't it? Okay, so I'm gonna have to fold this wrong. I was supposed to do it on the other side of that middle flap, but that's okay. I can just fold the inside, but as long as the important part is that you get these flaps last. That is the important part. because those are the flaps that you haven't trimmed. To where you can line it all up. So I need a little bit of glue right in there. Make sure it's all flush. And I'm having to add extra glue because of the way I glued that wrong. A little extra right in there. There we go. Because I want my glue or my boxes to be flat. So there we have that. Now I'm going to grab my punch. It is called the Very Best Trio Punch, and it has this corner punch, and then this hole punch. So I'll be using the straight corner punch. So I'm just lining it up with the guides. Okay, like that. Now the thing is, it makes me a little nervous because I have to. I'm afraid of this not being a perfect square, although it probably is, but I haven't checked it. So just to make sure, because on this one you have to turn your paper over and punch from the other direction in order for your two corners to match up and be symmetrical. So I just turn it over when I do that one as well. So let me show you that again. As a matter of fact, I'll just show you with the fancier one how you get it to match. Okay, so there's the fancier design, and so to make sure that I have this curve on top and this swoop out here on the side, I need to turn the paper over and punch from there, and then I get both of those looking the same. And then to do the, yeah, there are a lot of steps. I know, I'm sorry. I'm just going to try to get that in there as centered as possible. And there we go. And then we'll get this one. On there as well. Aren't they cute? Love that paper. It's really fun. I think that it's not quite gingham. Striped plaid is awfully cute with that floral. All right, so let's stamp some flowers. I want the big flower, and I want the stems. I want this medium-sized flower, and I want the saying that says "You are lovely." I need 3 of these blocks. A little one, and there we go. All right, so to line this up, grab my grid paper out here. Sorry for the used grid paper. All right. Let's see, am I still in this shot? Yes, I am. All right, so I'm going to turn this over so I can read the words. They're not backwards, and line my letters up on top of one of these grid lines. And then as I place this down to pick it up, I want to make sure that my block is lined up with the grid lines also. So that should be straight, and I should be able to line up my, let's see, what color do I want to do this in? Probably the Poppy Parade. Let's just test it. So then when I stamp, I'm just kind of lining up the block with the straight lines, and that didn't quite go, but that's because I can't really get my head over. So let's just try it again. Now that I've stamped it, I can see the letters a little better anyway. Bringing this a little close to my head. All right, so then lining up the block with the grid paper, Let's see if I got it better. Yes, much better. Okay, so let me try and line up the words with the line. Yeah, good. All right. So that is actually for later. I'm going to cut a tag for that. So let's just grab a piece of scrap paper. I need my floral accent. I'm going to stamp that first. Oh, isn't that beautiful shading on that stamp? Love that. There we go. That's Poppy Parade. And now I'm going to do the top portion of the flower in crushed curry. So those are the colors that are in the Designer Series paper. Now this does line up pretty good if you just kind of examine the stamp. And it's a little easier to stamp the lighter color on top of the darker color. I didn't ink that up very good, and I didn't use my foam. Let's try again. This is the problem with live grafting. I can't edit out those boo-boos. Oh, hi, Dolores. Thank you. Oh, that turned out much better, didn't it? Let's do a third one so we can get a good image. We didn't want to cheat anybody out of a beautiful flower, do we? No, we don't. Now the dies will cut this fairly close. So aren't those pretty? Love that yellow and red together. And I apologize that if this video is kind of splotchy, I apologize. It's because I'm live and all of the issues I seem to have here at home. But hopefully you can see enough, because YouTube keeps yelling at me, telling me that it's not good enough. All right, I'm not finished with those, but I do need to stamp my stems because I want to get this all cut out and decorated for you. So this is mint macaron. I wonder if I could get 2 stems on this little piece of paper. Let's try. Ooh, looky there, I think I can. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to cut those apart. So it'll be easier to put through my mini with the dies. So, anything exciting planned for you guys this afternoon? I think I'm gonna go hit the pool when I'm done here with this. All right, let's see. Let me think. What am I up to? I think I'm ready to cut, aren't I? Yes, I'm ready to cut. So here is the mini, and I need the tailor-made tags and the coordinating dies for Art Gallery, which is Floral Gallery dies. So I need those 2, and I need this second to smallest one right there. Oh, and I think I might as well do the fancy topper on the tag too, because you want to see how that's made, right? Of course you do. All right. So something I noticed in the book, in the annual catalog is that you can buy sets that include dies and a mini cutter. There's 2 different ones for the mini cutter, and then there's one for the this is really well used for the large one. So you can get this mini with the Stylish Shapes dies, which I love. I've recently got those, and if you were able to catch my Split Coast Stampers tutorial on Wednesday, it is on my channel as well. But most of my cards that I did like a sampling of like 12 cards, and I think most of them used the Stylish Shapes. I think that's a really worthwhile set to have. But anyway, you can buy the mini and the Stylish Shapes. I think it's for like 93 and some change, which is great. All right. There we go. All right, so with the Stylish Shapes, or sorry, the TaylorMade tag dies, I'm going to cut out a tag out of some of this scrap paper. I think I'll use that side. And because it is straight lines, I'm going to try to get this on here straight. And then for my white tag, I'm going to use, actually, no, I didn't want that. I'll just do this, and I'll use the floral side. I don't like the way it cuts when, so let me use this piece right here. I don't like the way it indents the paper if you put this on the wrong side of the paper. So if I want the floral side, then the floral side is the side I should have up when I put my die down, so that I don't get that weird indentation going the wrong way for my preference. Now sometimes if you want to use a die a different way, you can go ahead and do that. And then just use your bone folder to kind of push down that edge that the die creates. That works too. All right, I need one more tag because this tag is going to be layered with a white tag. So I just need another scrap piece of paper. I'll just set those aside. And I'll show you how those are going to be used once I have my basic white tag. But I do need another piece of paper, so let me grab one up here. I threw all my scraps of white in one location next to my desk because, you know, we're always using white. How do you guys deal with your basic white scraps? Do you have a special location for them? The air conditioner's down. Oh no. Well, at least you're with your craft supplies, right, Gina? That's good. We don't have very many basements here in southern Arizona. I don't know why, because it sure would be nice to have a cool place to go. Probably the ground is just too rocky, or we're in flood zones, or I don't know. Whatever the reasons are, they're very rare out here. But I would just be dying if my air conditioning went out. Okay, let's see what we have here. Put the dies all in one spot so I don't lose them or throw them away with my trash. That would be awful, wouldn't it? Okay. I only cut 2 of the flowers because you probably don't need to watch me do both of them, right? So glue dots is how I'm going to get this flower on here. And my first glue dot will just go right there at where this flower indents, and then I'm going to put, this is going to go on here like this, so you can kind of hold it in place and see how you want your flower. So about like that. And then I'll just go ahead and put this on the box. So I need one there. I need a dot on this leaf. Sometimes I am glue dot challenged. I apologize. And on this leaf, and then on that side of the flower, and then I like to do another one right where the stem meets the flower. So there's my glue dots, and we'll just add this to the front of that box. Yay, isn't that sweet? Okay, so on this tag then, I'm going to do a little stamping, just simple little bit of stamping, and hopefully get this lined up straight. Pretty good. Not perfect, but pretty good. And you could always stamp first and then use your die cut, lay your die cut on there to make sure you're nice and straight. But the tips I gave you actually really work as long as you can kind of get your head right over it. All right, so these are just going to layer up like that. So you're just going to see a little bit of that coming, that plaid tag kind of peeking above or below. That's the way that's going to go on there. So I have some candy here. These are just Water Mints. I don't know what brand or anything. They were ordered off of Amazon. And I'm going to grab a little white twine to tie up that bag. Amazon is great for ordering candy treats in a certain color. You can like type in yellow candy and it'll give you so many options for yellow candy. It's really kind of fun. So that's going to go in there like that. And I want a stiffer ribbon, and I wanted to stick with our in colors. I didn't look at the mini. There's probably something appropriate in the mini, but in the main catalog, I know that this is a little stiffer, so I'm going to put it in there first. And now the challenge is to get them to go through the tags. Although it's fairly thin. For such a thick ribbon, or wide ribbon, I should say. It's a wide ribbon. For such a wide ribbon, it's not very thick, which is cool. I need my big scissors. Thanks, Gina. Into a box. All right, now I'm going to need a little bit more of that twine. And we'll just tie that piece of ribbon together with a little bit of twine, just in a knot. And kind of put that tag in place, separate the two so that shows. Pull it tight. If you don't like it moving around, you could always add a little glue dot. Ugh. I don't know what's happening there, but I'm having trouble grabbing the right strings. Trim those off. And I think I used a stiffer ribbon on my other one, so I think I am going to use a little glue dot for keeping that in place. Actually, no, is it staying there now? Maybe it's staying there now. I would prefer not to use a glue dot just in case somebody wants to like take the tag off and use it or repurpose this box in some way. The less glue I use, the less likely or the more useful I think it could be to them. But there we go. There. Isn't that cute? So the colors just coordinate with the paper. Those were the colors that were listed on that paper, which you can get for free now. So if you like this, and you know, you could use any of your stamps and die cuts to make your decoration. Anything would work. You could do small. I just liked the idea of having something big and bold on there. You could cut your own tags or use some other tag die that you had. Any ribbons that coordinate. Of course, this is a neutral ribbon, so that's nice. But it has the soft suede in the paper there. So with any $50 purchase, you can still get this paper, but you kind of have to hurry if you want it, because it is you know, kind of a first come first serve, and the note cards are already sold out. So this is called Rings of Love. It coordinates with the Rings of Nature. Oh gosh, I can't remember the name of it. Let me grab the book out here. Ringed with Nature, something like that. I'll find it in just a sec, because that stamp set is adorable, and it has multiple like seasons in it, and the paper has multiple seasons in it. So okay, concentrate on what I'm looking for here. Ringed with Nature. Oh, it is Ringed with Nature. So page 23, let me show you that, because it is super cool. If you haven't taken a look at the catalog yet, you can go to my website, rosiescrapper.com, or my Stampin' Up website. You can find links there to the catalog, and you can always request one from me. Wait, what is this? Is this a different book? I could have sworn that said 23. Apparently I was wrong. Ringed with Nature. 62. D. The price is 23. Page 62. I apologize. There we go. So, Merry Christmas. Get well soon. Has the poinsettia, the house. Well, I guess it's not so many different seasons, but the paper is definitely different seasons, and you can make lots of these things work for different seasons, because you have this cheerful flower and these berries. You got the heart. So it also comes with this embossing folder and the die cuts. I haven't even played with that. See how you can layer those up? The embossing with the outside of the log and the inside of the log. That's super cute. So looking forward to playing with that. Some other samples there. And there's the project that I made with Art Gallery and Rings of Love. Free paper, yay! All right, well, thanks for hanging out, watching the project. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you have any questions about Stampin' Up or joining my team, anything like that, please reach out. I am always available to answer your questions and help you out with anything that you might need. Until next time, happy stamping!